So bicarbonate and hemoglobin in red blood cell. How bicarbonate buffer system and hemoglobin actually participates in buffering of our blood. We are going to discuss this in this part of the video. Now, the bicarbonate buffer system and hemoglobin, which is actually present in the red blood cells, participates in buffering the blood, and they will actually this hemoglobin will actually transport carbon dioxide to the lungs, which we also discussed in our previous part of this lecture. Now, most of the carbon dioxide is actually produced by the metabolism of TCA cycle, that is tricarboxylic acid cycle, and this carbon dioxide from this cell will now diffuse itself into this interstitial fluid that is represented by a blue color. Then it will enter into the plasma and ultimately into the red blood cells. So this carbon dioxide is moving from the cell to the interstitial fluid, then within this plasma or within red blood cells. Ultimately, this carbon dioxide is actually associating itself into red blood cells. Now, as we know that there is no carbonic anhydrase, that is an enzyme present in the plasma or the interstitial fluid. This carbonic anhydrase is actually present in the red blood cell. This diagram is representing a red blood cell. This red blood cells contains high amount of this enzyme, that is carbonic anhydrase, and carbon dioxide is rapidly converted into carbonic acid with the help of this enzyme, that is carbonic anhydrase, which is present in the red blood cells. When carbon dioxide reacts itself or combines with water, with the help of carbonic anhydrase, there is formation of an acid, that is H2CO3, that is carbonic acid. Now, this carbonic acid will then dissociate itself into the hydrogen ions, okay, and is buffered. This hydrogen ion is then buffered by its combination with the amino acid which is present in the hemoglobin. When this hydrogen ion will combine itself with the hemoglobin, actually there is a buffering of the system. So after addition or after combining of this hydrogen ion with the amino acid side chain of the hemoglobin, there is formation of HBH, that is actually representing this hydrogen has associated itself with the hemoglobin. Now, this bicarbonate ion will then be transported out of the red blood cell into the plasma or into the blood in exchange for carbon chloride. But whenever there is efflux of the HCO3 from the red blood cells, there will be influx of the chloride ions that are, and thus it means that bicarbonate ions are present in a relatively higher amount in plasma as compared to the red blood cell, because actually our system, our body system is removing these bicarbonate ions from the cells into the blood. Now, as red blood cells approaches to the lungs, what will happen? These whole reaction will reverse itself. When this red blood cell approaches to the lungs, the direction of equilibrium will get reversed and carbon dioxide will then release from these red blood cells. Now, more carbonic acid, that is H2CO3, will dissociate itself into the carbon dioxide and water, and more hydrogen ions will combine themselves with these bicarbonate ions so that there will be production of carbonic acid, and this carbonic from ultimately from this carbonic acid there will be formation of carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide will then move towards the lungs and will be exhaled from our body. Now, how does blood works as a buffer? Now, when any acid is added into our blood, for example, here acid is represented by H3O, that is hydronium ion. Our bicarbonate ions will neutralize these. This bicarbonate ion will try to neutralize this hydronium ion by forming carbonic acid and water. Now, this carbonic acid we have already discussed will then dissociate itself into carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide will then be removed from our body with the help of the lungs.